Understanding Investments a Few Minutes at a Time by Daniel Dower. From Chapter 3, Investing Role Models. Issue number 15, Philip Fisher. Buffett also brought attention to the incredible career of investor Philip Fisher. Fisher authored 4 books, the most famous of which is Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits, 1958. Fisher shares numerous insights, including his 15 points to look for common stocks. Interestingly, Fisher also shares a list of don'ts as well, such as don't overstress diversification, don't follow the crowd, and don't quibble over eighths and quarters. Fisher ran Fisher & Company, his own money management company, from 1931 to his death in 1999 at age 91. Fisher specialized in innovative companies driven by research and development. His most famous investment was in Motorola, a radio manufacturer he purchased in 1955 and held until his death. Warren Buffett calls his investing style 85% Graham, 15% Fisher. John Maynard Keynes. Keynes is widely considered the most influential economist of the 20th century, one of the founders of macroeconomics. Keynes argued that variations in aggregate demand would cause boom and bust cycles of activity, which state intervention could moderate. He advocated the use of fiscal and monetary policy to mitigate recessions and depressions. I find more often than not Keynesian economics is misrepresented by various political groups for their own agenda. It is my understanding of his magnum opus, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money, published in 1936, that Keynes was never in support of endless government debt, but rather increased government spending in bad times and decreased spending in good times. Unfortunately, politicians find it easier to spend than save, leaving most developed economies with large national debts built up in the later 20th century, often using Keynesian arguments as excuses. At times, Keynes equally argued for compulsory savings and against deficit spending, but we rarely hear that today. Don't take my word for it. Read Chapter 12 of The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money. At times, Keynes' writings often seem deliberately complicated, but Chapter 12 is exceptional. Amongst other things, in it he offers the Keynesian beauty contest. In 1909, at 26, Keynes accepted a lectureship in economics funded personally by Alfred Marshall, also a founder of modern economics. Keynes was heavily involved in Britain's financial negotiations during and after World War II, and instrumental in establishing the Bretton Woods system, a clearing union for international currencies, most of which had left the gold standard. From it came the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, still powerful entities in global economics. Friedrich Hayek, Keynes' most prominent critic, praised him as the only really great man I ever knew, and for whom I had unbounded admiration. The world will be a very much poorer place without him. Whatever one thinks of his economic theories, Keynes made numerous contributions to modern economic thought. As one such example, Keynes directly participated in the Versailles negotiations to end World War I. He staunchly discouraged the harsh reparations made upon Germany, and authored The Economic Consequences of the Peace of 1919. I offer an excerpt as a testament to his insight. If we aim deliberately at the impoverishment of Central Europe, vengeance, I dare predict, will not limp. Nothing can then delay for very long that final war between the forces of reaction and the despairing convulsions of revolution, before which the horrors of that late German war will fade into nothing. In terms of investment philosophy, I find no substitute for long-term success. Despite losing a substantial amount in the Wall Street crash of 1929, Keynes amassed £500,000, about £17 million today, despite lavish support of social causes. More impressively, Keynes managed the investments for King's College, Cambridge, from 1924 to his death in 1946. He quickly moved to sell properties and invest the chest in the stock market. During his tenure, the chest grew 12% annually, which may not seem remarkable but for the fact that this period included the Great Depression and World War II, both of which were disastrous to British stocks, which fell 15% over that same period. And the chess growth only included capital gains, as Keynes spent all of the dividends on the college.